Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 General Manager Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. This is it, brand new series. We've done Smackdown vs. Raw 2008. It's time to go back a year backwards, and we're going to play Smackdown vs. Raw 2007, my favorite game in the WWE series of all time, my favorite GM mode game, and really the game that made me fall in love with wrestling games. So we are doing the draft for GM mode. Now I am going to let Eddie Guerrero be available on the roster, so he's really the only legend I have available right now, so I'm going to activate him. He will be on the roster and we're going to try and sign him. So we want Eddie Guerrero, so that's going to be probably our only change to the roster. As you can see, we're not going to turn anybody off, so what's the point of that? We're going to do a draft. We're not going to do the normal rosters. We're going to draft our own roster. We're going to pick our own roster, and let's make this our show. So we did SmackDown last time. We're going to do Raw this time. So first draft selection, we chose at random. Draft picks will alternate between the two brands. Raw has the Women's Championship. SmackDown has the Cruiserweight Championship. Cruiserweight's in blue, Divas in red. You're not required to pick all 20, but the recommended is 12 to 20 superstars and divas on your roster. So that's the rules. Pretty simple, pretty clear cut. So let's get the draft underway. We won't bother looking at the roster. We'll get there when we get there. But our first pick is Eddie Guerrero. Kurt Angle, our second pick. So they got Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Two big grabs for them. We want Batista. I'm a big Batista fan. So we'll go Batista. We'll go John Cena. So they got Ray and Edge. That's fine. We don't really want Mick Foley, Undertaker, or Randy Orton. We want the dead man. We've got to have Undertaker. Let's get him for the whole year since his popularity is so low. I'm guessing that's going to go up. We'll grab Randy. They got Benoit. That's okay. We'll get RVD as well. But now the predicament, well, we'll get Booker T, but we're at that stage we probably need to get a diva now. They generally do like to sign the divas early on. They like to steal some, so we'll get Trish. We'll grab Melina. We're not really missing out on anybody. So Carlito, Ken Kennedy, who cares? So we'll get Melina. We'll get Lita. We've got to make sure we have our divas. We want to go Tori, but Big Show. We also want to get Kane and Big Show for our tag team division. So we'll get Kane and Big Show. JBL still there. We get Nitro. We'll grab Mickey James, and now they've given up. So that's fine. We can get whoever we want. We'll get Shelton Benjamin, even though his popularity is really low. That's fine. We'll get Joey Mercury, so we have Eminem. So we have two tag teams. Thank goodness. Who else really? Who's left? I mean, JBL's there. We might as well pick him up. Two picks left. I mean, who do you really want out of this lot? I mean, I like Chris Masters, so I'll get him. And the final pick, I guess you got to get a diva, maybe? I don't know. Like, who do you get? There's Mark Henry there. There's Snitsky, Matt Hardy, Finley, Boogeyman. I like the Boogeyman, but I guess we'll just pick up Candice Michelle, an extra diva. We kind of need one. We've only got 4, so we missed out on Tori, which was disappointing. So it's either Julian or Candice. I guess it's a no-brainer. You might as well get Candice. So we got Candice Michelle to close out our roster. And let's set clean and dirty. So we need to... Basically what we're going to do here... Who's going to be heel? Who's going to be babyface? We need to make sure that we have enough heels. We have enough babyface. We don't want to be stuck with 4 top heels and 1 top babyface. We want, 3 and 3 or 2 and 2, however many there is. I mean, if you have the 3 and 2, that's fine. But we want to make sure we have enough so we can have rivalries between our different top guys. So, and as well as that, of course, the mid card as well. But our whole roster, we want to be actually able to have rivalries, because rivalries equals ratings. Remember that. Rivalries equals ratings. So that's basically the whole synopsis of this playthrough. That's what we need to know throughout the whole series. Rivalries equals ratings. If you don't have a rivalry, you're not going to get any ratings. You're not going to win. So to become GM of the year here in GM mode, you need to have some rivalries. So we need to make sure that we have that. Booker T, we're going to make him clean. 80's going to be a heel. We're making Angle stay dirty. Taker's going to be clean. Cena's going to be clean. So that'll be our kind of like our top guys. I think Randy's still dirty. I kind of missed that one. But so Angle will be our WWE champion. We're going to have Shelton Benjamin as our IC champion, I think. I don't know. Obviously, Eminem is going to be a tag champ. It's going to be either Eminem or Big Show and Kane. So we're probably going to have Shelton. I mean, Shelton Benjamin's popularity is very low, but you give him the title, I think that'll raise it up a bit. It's really that or JBL or Booker T. I don't really want RVD or Booker T having. I just feel as though the popularity is just a little bit too high. I want to try and build up some of these other guys and build up their popularity. It's the same with Mickie James. Lita and Trish, their popularity is already fine. We don't need to worry about them. Mickie James, however, is one of the lowest ones. We want to try and build her up as much as we possibly can as we listen in to what Vince McMahon has to say to us.
Before you start your new job as general manager, I want to make one thing very clear. This company was built on a desire to succeed. All challenges and opposition are taken head-on and conquered. Failure is not acceptable. As the new general manager, I expect the same from you. Be aware that your show, your ratings, and your decisions will be measured against the opposing general manager. At the end of the year, I will review both shows' current standings, and the general manager that has the largest fan base will receive the coveted General Manager of the Year award. The loser will be fired. Good luck.
Alright, so Vince giving us the lowdown of what GM mode is all about. So here we go, we're finally here. We don't have a lot of cash to splash, but I think we did pretty well in the draft. Let me know in the comment section down below who you guys want me to pick up in a trade later on. Which superstar are you disappointed that I didn't sign? Who should I get from the free agency if I'm going to go there? Are there anybody on the roster you don't want to see? Let me know. Give me your thoughts and give me your ideas on the roster. That was the quick lowdown of the roster if you just missed it as well. But I like our roster. I mean, SmackDown, they did pretty good. We obviously went Tori Wilson, but her popularity is just a bit too high. We probably want to get rid of Candice Michelle for Tori Wilson. That's the plan later on. So we can try and do that in the next couple episodes. That'd be great. But I think the rosters are pretty even. I don't think they really got the better of us. I don't think we really got the better of them. But there's really nobody on the free agency really worth signing at this point, which is disappointing. Yeah, it's great. And like 2008 GMO, there was no free agents. You couldn't get anybody. There was nobody available. But this game, there's heaps. There's heaps of free agents, which is great. So if you're done with somebody, you played them all out, it's really got no value left, you can get someone else in, you can sign someone else and bring them in and do it all again. So that's really what I like. So we're going to go ahead and get all the contracts so we can have as many different types of rivalries as we can, which has pretty much left us nearly broke. So not too good. With these rivalries, it doesn't really matter which one you pick as long as it works. The better star rating, obviously the better. So even if it's not like making sense, like loser leaves the brand, obviously we're not going to have Kurt Angle leave the brand if he loses to Eddie Guerrero. We're not going to have that. But obviously we want to have the best possible star rating. So that's a 5-star rated rivalry, so we'd obviously would do that. We're going to have Undertaker versus Kurt Angle. That's going to be our big rivalry. So Undertaker at the moment probably is just in world title contention, so we need to try and make sure that he stays there. But I think Angle and Undertaker would be a nice way to pick it up, and also it'll use Undertaker better, but it probably won't give us a huge rating. But we want to try and build Undertaker up to be one of the top guys here, and his popularity in this game is really low. I'm confused as to why his popularity is so low in this game. It's like 78. It should be at least 83, but whatever. So our second rivalry, Batista and Eddie, that's an option. We also have John Cena and Eddie. I think we'll probably go with Cena and Eddie. We'll make that a small rivalry so we can switch it up after that. Obviously Taker and Angle. That'll be a long one. We're probably not going to go the whole 15 weeks, but I did that pretty much so if you want to make it a 7 or 8 week rivalry, we can. We don't have to go as long as the game tells us to go. We don't have to make it a 3-week rivalry. We can keep it going for as long as we want, and when we want to pull the plug, we can. So our IC title feud, we're probably going to throw JBL in there. We could have put Booker T in there, but he's still clean. Probably keep him like that. RVD still clean as well. So Shelton is obviously clean. So I guess JBL really is the only logical pick for us at the moment. And that's okay because JBL's popularity is decent. So we won't really lack too much there. That'll be fine. But obviously we want to try and build Shelton up. And I think Shelton could probably beat JBL. So basically the only way to get popularity in this game is by winning. Unlike 2008 GMO, we can do the trophy dates. You can do all that kind of crap to increase your superstar, their popularity and their overall, everything like that. This game, it's all about winning your matches, which is what I really like about it. I think it's probably my favorite thing about GMO. It's hard to get popularity, and you actually have to use your superstars. You have to play as them, make sure they win, calculate their matches, and really upgrade them to become the top guy. If you want Angle to be the best, you got to make sure his stats are the best. And of course, you can get XP and upgrade your superstars as well once you play as them over time. So that's pretty much all our rivalries set. We've got a title match rivalry for all our titles at the moment, so things are looking pretty good. A quick look through at the Power 25, pretty even, but I think SmackDown might have a better presence at the top, where we've got a lot of superstars down the bottom of the Power 25, but we still have plenty in there, so that's good. So our roster, like I said, pretty even. So let's go ahead and start up our first couple of matches. So the beauty of this game, not only do we have Monday Night Raw, but we also have Sunday Night Heat. And I really, really like this idea because that gives us more spaces on the card, but we have more matches. So we have 20 people in our roster. So some weeks you're not going to get everyone on there. Some weeks you're going to have big tag matches and you're not going to have enough. But if you do have enough, you know, you still have some room. You can fit another match or two. Throw it on Sunday Night Heat. You're still using them. They're still gaining a little bit of popularity. I don't think they actually gain much at all, if anything. But you're still using them. They're still getting involved. And another win next to their name. You know, when they build a bit of a streak, a 3, 5, 6, 7 streak, that popularity for them really starts to grow nicely. So keeping them going on Sunday Night Heat is a good thing. You don't want them to have a week off. That's not a good thing. So you got to make sure they keep going. Our main event, obviously, Undertaker and Kurt Angle. That's going to be a big feud for us. We're going to kick it off tonight on Raw. And our second big feud, Cena and Eddie Guerrero. That will be match number 5 for us. And we need some money. So I guess we really have to look at probably doing advertising promos. And unfortunately, we only get our money the next week. So we won't get our money straight away. We'll have to wait until after next week's show to get our cash, which was always a little bit annoying. But we want to do a little bit of a special on Shelton Benjamin, so we're going to have a bit of money coming in, but perhaps we might do something on Shelton Benjamin just to try and promote him a little bit, because his popularity is only 65, as you can see, but we want to make sure we keep Shelton Benjamin going. So we have a triple threat, JBL and RVD and Shelton, just so it's not just your singles matches all the time. Plus RVD's doing nothing, we need to use him somehow. We'll throw him in this matchup, and we'll have our tag team feud here. So Kane, Big Show versus Eminem. We've got Melina in there as a manager as well, and that was one of the things that I noted on GMO 2008. The lack of managers used by me, using divas as managers. So that's something I want to try and make sure I do more often, and keep the divas going. So even if they have a match, or they don't have a match, we can still keep them going and pair them up with somebody and create an alliance or something like that. So Lita and Mickie James, that'll be one-on-one. We're going to make that a submission match, hopefully just to bump that one up a little bit. Just a little bit fearful that match might just be 2 stars. We need to try and make sure it's at least 2.5, maybe 3 if we're pushing it. We're going to be pretty lucky to do that. So we have a couple names left, so we're going to make sure we fill them up on Heat. I believe we have a one-on-one match to start off Heat, but we still have Booker T and Chris Masters both available. So you can see, yeah, Candice has already been used. So if they are used on Heat, it doesn't say on Raw that they were used. So even though they've technically had a match, but it won't say on Raw that they've had a match. So under the inactive thing, so that it will say on Raw that they have been inactive, but they had a match on Sunday Night Heat. So it's all good, baby. As we have Booker T versus Chris Masters. Obviously Booker T, the bigger name there. Chris Masters, we don't really have anything for both those guys, which is a bit of a shame, especially for Booker. But we'll definitely give him something to do very soon. But obviously the first week, we just want to focus on our title matches and our big rivalries at the moment before we get into something else. So, alright, so we're going to obviously play our main event to kick this one off. And we are going to play this one. We're going to play as the Undertaker, because we need to make sure the Undertaker gets a couple of victories so he's still in contention for that world title, considering that his popularity is just lacking just a little bit. But here we go as the Undertaker gets ready to come out to the ring for his long entrance. But yeah, so it's great to be back with GM Mode, guys. Obviously, if you did watch the 2008 GM Mode series, I really thank you guys for coming along again and watching another GM Mode series. This game is a lot better than 2008. We had a lot of issues. There was a lot of complaints. There was a lot of frustrations from me in 2008 GM Mode. But I think this one is going to be fine. It's going to make sense. This one's going to be very, very fun. So this is going to be the best GM Mode, definitely out of the lot. And I think you're going to really, really enjoy this series. So planning on doing at least a video a week on this series. I'll try and even sneak in 2 try and do as many as I can for you guys so that this series gets done. And obviously we got a lot of things planned as well. So I just got the PS2 as well, so I have a lot of the older wrestling games we can get through, and this is obviously my favorite wrestling game of all time, so I wanted to get to this one straight away. And here we come. Here we go with Kurt Angle, our WWE champion, and obviously GM mode. I didn't really play a lot of season mode on this game. GM mode was always my game mode. I played that non-stop a long time. But it's very interesting though. I played this game mode very differently back then compared to now. So it's great. You know, you can play the game mode so many times, but you can always have so many different styles and so many different ways of playing it. So I know back in the day, you know, I played GM mode, the game 2007, so I would have been 11 or so. I played the game. I really enjoyed it. Obviously I played it a lot, but I mainly focused on one superstar. I mainly created my own wrestler, and I mainly just focused on him. I didn't really focus on building up the rest of the roster. I didn't really focus on winning GM mode of the year all that often. I didn't focus on making sure that I had tag teams and having a good mid-card or a good main event. I didn't really focus on any of that. I just mainly focused on building up my own created superstar from the bottom and building him up all the way to the main event and winning the world title. I found that really fun, but I didn't really do the rest of it. Whereas this time, we want to make sure we have our divas going, we want to make sure we have a good tag team division, and we want to build up some guys in the IC and perhaps build them up all the way to the main event as well. And we want to have some guys be elevated. You know, maybe Shelton Benjamin wins the IC title and he gets momentum from that, and on that momentum carries him into the World Championship contendership. So something like that. That's what we want to kind of do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it, like I said. So this game will probably allow us to do that much easier, much more realistic too. Like, I didn't really like the trophy date thing and having the ability just to raise the popularity to 100 in like 2 weeks for some people. And, you know, like after 2 weeks you've already got, you know, your main event guys and, you know, 100 popularity. So it's just kind of lame. Whereas this one, it's going to take time. You're going to have to keep winning and keep winning. And, you know, after 3 months, you might have your first guy at 100 popularity. So something like that's going to be really enjoyable and exciting. It's going to take time, and you're going to really have to earn it. So I think for that alone, this game takes the cake for me, that you really have to earn your popularity. You really have to earn your way to the top of GM mode. And obviously, it's a ratings war between SmackDown and Raw. So we want to try and put on the best show possible. So a main event like this one is a good way to go about it. Probably my style as well. You're probably thinking, why didn't you put a stipulation? Why didn't you make this first blood or a ladder match or something like that? You know, that's not really my style. My style really is to kind of emulate how it would be in real life. So as Angle's got the leg of Undertaker trying to take down with a submission hold, and the old school submission style there. So my style really is you book singles matches, you book tag matches, but you don't really overload the stipulations. I know when I used to play as a kid, every single match was the best stipulation I could possibly find, and everybody was getting injured. That was my biggest issue. I always had way too many injuries. Everyone was at maximum fatigue, and I couldn't really do anything with anybody. So yes, I was getting good ratings for some matches, but everybody was getting injured, so I wouldn't have Kurt Angle for 16 weeks. So what could I do, you know? So, oh, here's a cover, shoulders down. Oh, Angle's got him. Oh, wow, that was very close. Thought Angle had him. So now I kind of want to do that. You know, obviously I want to have some big matches, but I don't want to overload the stipulations. There's a nice little suplex, well, belly-to-belly slam there. But we'll save the stipulations for the pay-per-views. That's when you want to have the big matches. I know the pay-per-views don't really help the ratings much, but you still want to make them special. It's going to be a big special episode. Every pay-per-view is going to be every single match being played by me, mainly on the normal Raw, so we'll just pick one match and play that. And because the matches on this game aren't all that exciting to watch, you know, old school mechanics, they're much better to watch nowadays than they were back then, but still, it's still fun. But we'll mainly focus on our pay-per-view for all our matches. So when we have the pay-per-view, we'll have stipulations, everything like that apply, but during our normal Raws, only when we really need to, or if it's a title match. We won't have a title match every single week. We're going to save it all for the pay-per-views. We're not going to overload it. We're going to do it right, and we're going to make the pay-per-views mean something. So when the pay-per-views are on, it's going to be exciting, you know. The titles will be on the line for the first time, you know. When Backlash is around, it'll be our first W title match. It won't be our fourth, so that's how we want to do it. So, like I said, if you guys have any ideas and suggestions on how we should go about things, please let me know. You guys all play GMO too. You guys all love it and enjoy it just as much as I did back in the day. So if you have any tips and tricks for me, I'm always open for suggestions. So feel free to shoot me a comment down below. Undertaker looking pretty good now, maybe trying to set Angle up, but he's just lacking a bit of stamina right now as he's really been taken to the limit by Kurt Angle here in this opening matchup here in GM mode on our main event on Raw. Can Undertaker try and get to that big move he's got stored up, ready to go? But Angle's going to whip him into the corner and perhaps put an end to Undertaker's aspirations of putting Angle away. Can he get there? Look, he's tired. He's really got nothing left in the tank, but he's got Angle up. Can he get the tombstone? He's going to try and set him up. And bang! There you go. Drilling the head into the mat. The tombstone pile driver, but no! The rope break. Angle survives just a little bit more. So now Taker and Angle. Angle whips Taker against the ropes. Can Angle get back in this match now? The ropes saving Kurt Angle. He's surviving just. But Undertaker trying to put him away. Grabs the arm. But oh, he's got nothing left in the tank. Kurt Angle trying to get back in the driver's seat, but unfortunately he just can't quite do that as Undertaker keeps countering everything, but Taker really just has nothing left, as he's got nothing left now because he just got DDT'd right into the mat. But Kurt Angle not really capitalizing here, allowing the Undertaker to take a bit of a breather, regain a bit of his stamina. But now, Angle's got Taker up in a fireman's carry, trying to take down Taker, and he does. Angle in control now. Taker's in big trouble. Angle may walk away with a victory here. Undertaker, has he got enough left in the tank? Big boot. And he's pretty happy about that one as well. Big boot there by Undertaker. Can he put Angle away? Angle's still fighting. But wait a minute. Trying to get Undertaker. A knee right in the midsection again. Has Taker in the corner. Gonna try and strike Taker away. No, not gonna happen. Taker launches him across the ring. Here we go. Undertaker's ready to go. Kurt Angle, don't get up. But he does, and he takes down Taker with him. As Angle, he's still fighting. The champion is still going. And another big boot there by Taker. Taker really hasn't got a lot left in the tank. Can he put Angle away? Oh, geez, another boot. This time, that boot busted him. As, here we go. The armbar. Armbar there by Undertaker. He wasn't even going to go for the tombstone for the second time. He has the armbar in. Will Angle tap? He does. Undertaker bringing out a new move. The armbar. A nice submission move there by Undertaker. And takes out Kurt Angle. And the champ has been defeated on the main event of Raw. So a big start for the Undertaker here in GM mode. He's on the road to Backlash, and he may be walking out as the next WWE Champion here on Raw if he can beat Kurt Angle one more time. But that's a great start for Monday Night Raw for The Undertaker as we go ahead and check out the rest of our matches. So, big win for Taker. So, we'll go check out Sunday Night Heat first. So, Melina defeats Candice Michelle, and Chris Masters, okay, an upset victory over Booker T. RVD wins the triple threat match. Well, there you go. He wasn't involved in the rivalry, but still gets the victory. And Eminem win against Kane and Big Show. Batista beats Randy Orton. Lita defeats Mickie James in the submission match. So that's a big victory for her. She's going to be the next number one contender. And Eddie Guerrero defeats John Cena, of course, and Undertaker defeated Kurt Angle. So a pretty good week. Pretty good week to start off GM mode. I say so myself. So let's have a look. Did we get the victory? Yes! 70,000. That's a big week. That's a nice little collect there. 70,000. It's not amazing, but it's a great start. We've got the first week. Week 1 goes to Monday Night Raw. That's all that matters. As long as we win every single week, that's good. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but to win the first week, that's a great start for us. Good way to build some momentum. So we had a 2.5 star rated show overall. So Heat matches did okay. 2.5 for the triple threat. 2 star for the tag. Not too bad. 3 star for that matchup. That's good. 2.5 for the Divas, and 2 3-star matches for our bigger rivalries. So that's not too bad. SmackDown had a 2.5 star rated show. They didn't have many matches, but they had some decent ones. And they're very, very close, I think, to almost beating us there for the week. But we still managed to hold them out. And I'm pretty happy with that. week 1 goes to Monday Night Raw as we get ready for next week. It's going to be a big one next week, I can tell you that. So we're going to try and continue our momentum on to next week. That was a good week. So we picked up the victory, and that's always very, very nice. So very happy with that. As we get ready for Backlash in about 3 more weeks. Our rivalries did pretty good to start her off. What do you guys think? You enjoying it? I certainly am. I love this game. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like button on the video. Make sure you subscribe as well to see more GMO in the future. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you next time.